Oh wow, thank God I had the right amount. For a second there, I thought I got the wrong amount. But it must have just been my eyes. Come on, come on. Oh, yes! That's a new world record. Oh, I accidentally kicked it out, but that was 2:21 9 seconds under the older record. Oh my God.
On September the 4th, the year of the Lord 2020, febokrusn, a speedrunner known for his skills at Apollon 88, broke the speedrun record in Countrified in the category of Shelter Percent. The record had previously been held by Dragon Sparoon, a prominent member of the community who got his start in Amorous. It was a classic underdog story. febokrusn was a relative unknown who came into the community suddenly and against all odds defeated the reigning champion. Or did he?
Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Thank you for the follow. It sucks a lot. 20,000.
Countrified is a classic survival game. It takes inspiration from the gods themselves, bearing no similarities to any other game in the genre. Almost immediately after it was released, it developed a cult following and soon became very popular in the speedrunning community. As with any complicated game, several different categories were created by which to speedrun the game. One such category was Shelter Percent. Shelter Percent was very simple. All you had to do was start a new world, then craft and place both of the shelters found in the game. Its simplicity is what soon made it by far the most ran category in the entire game. Soon enough, the community for the game and the Shelter Percent category had grown to be quite large. This is around when Dragon Sparoon entered. Dragon was already well known online for his walkthroughs of the hardcore incest yiff furry game Amorous, so it was no surprise for anyone when he took over as the greatest speedrunner in the Shelter Percent community. After several runs, the people came to a consensus. It was impossible to beat Dragon Sparoon. It came to the point where he could not even defeat himself. After his amazing 2 minutes 32 second run, he was unable to get the time any lower. It was then when febokrusn came to the scene. Prior to his entrance into the Countrified community, febokrusn produced content revolving around the top-down shooter game Apollon 88. He was not wildly successful though, and so he started looking for opportunities to move into a new niche. Finally, he arrived at the Shelter Percent community. By this point, Dragon Sparoon had already completed his unbeatable 2 minute 32 second run. It seemed pointless for febokrusn to even try to compete, especially as he was brand new to the community. He didn't care though. At first, nobody cared about him. This did not discourage him though. He kept training, and soon he showed extraordinary talent at the game. This was when people started to believe. Maybe Dragon's record wasn't unbeatable after all. Maybe this newcomer, this underdog, could restore balance to the community that had become so one-sided. Maybe febokrusn could keep Shelter Percent alive. On September the 4th, while live streaming, febokrusn made a series of attempts. On the final one, he was given an extremely lucky spawn location and proceeded to go through each step carefully but quickly. It was the perfect run. You can't help but shake and sit on the edge of your seat as you watch the final dozen seconds. He paces back and forth as he waits for the camo shelter to craft. Then boom, history is made. The timer stops. febokrusn, still on edge, presses the button again, and the time goes away. But everyone saw it, and they know what it said. 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Over 11 seconds faster than the unbeatable run. Thus, the old king, Dragon Speedrun, was dead. Long live King febokrusn.
9 seconds under the older record. Oh my god.
It had been done. The Shelter percent community had its balance restored. Dragon Speedrun had been defeated. Most people celebrated, but some stopped to wonder how. Dragon's legendary run was called unbeatable for a reason. No amount of RNG or skill should have been able to produce a faster run, yet it had happened. This was when the legend of the carryover method began. People believed there was some hidden strategy used in febokrusn's run. After going through the run frame by frame, experts were unable to find this strategy, but one found a lead. Only 50 wood was mined in the record-breaking run, unlike in all of Dragon's runs where 60 wood was used. Since each hit of a rock takes over 1 second, not mining the extra 10 wood had saved febokrusn about 11 seconds, the exact amount of time he had beaten Dragon by. This was the lost strategy, people thought. The leading theory was that 10 wood spent on the workbench had carried over and gone into making the camo shelter, which was previously thought impossible to do. This was dubbed the carryover method. The only flaw with this theory is that not a single person has been able to reproduce it. There had to be a better explanation. Days after the speedrun, and after the general public had accepted the carryover method as truth, one speedrun analyst found something chilling. At one point in the video, around when febokrusn crafted the camo shelter, there was a weird formation in the audio. Historically, this has been one way to find otherwise undetectable splicing in faked speedruns. Splicing is when two separate clips are put together to make a run faster. Perhaps a runner did one part perfectly in one run and another part perfectly in a different run. To get the perfect run, he could splice these two perfect parts together. The analyst thinks that in febokrusn's case, it was because he had more wood in the spliced-in clip. If true, this would explain everything. Here is the clip in question.
Oh wow, thank God I had the right amount.
Did you see that? Let's watch it again.
Oh wow, thank God I had the right amount.
And again. You probably didn't see a cut in that clip, as it was very well hidden. Even trained professionals couldn't see it until they looked at the waveforms shown here. This evidence is too difficult to understand for the common person, and not conclusive enough to convict febokrusn on. But what you're about to see is. What you're looking at is the full, unedited footage of febokrusn's speedrun. It was given to me by one of the only living people who were there the day it happened. Someone who watched febokrusn's livestream. The person who gave me this footage goes by the name Ethan Sucks-a-Lot 20,000. He was recording during the entire run, and as you can see here, there is a part that was missing from the official speedrun. A part in which febokrusn realizes he's missing 10 wood and goes to mine more. After running over to a tree, he pauses his speedrun timer. Doing so invalidates the speedrun. This is undeniable evidence that febokrusn faked his speedrun. What this means is that Dragon Speedrun's 2-minute 32-second run is still the true record. febokrusn has dishonored this community by getting them to unknowingly celebrate a liar and a cheater. We were all so caught up in a great underdog story that we forgot to remember who the true hero is.
Oh yes!
Dragon Speedrun, the man who came to this community from a casual furry game and went on to become quite possibly the best speedrunner in the world. He fought for what he wanted, and in the end he got it. Never once did he lie or cheat his way to victory. He always earned it, fair and square. We as a community never should have treated him as a villain to be overtaken. His unbeatable record is an amazing feat of human ingenuity to be celebrated in its own right. So I'm sorry, Dragon Sparoon. As an apology, I am showing the world the truth about febokrusn's record-breaking run.